red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts, you can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego, then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, if we don't put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar, reporting live and direct. Let me know how we doing on the audio. Let me know how we doing on the audio. And that song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the Facts Remix by none other than the 44 Tops. That is the Facts Remix by none other than the 44 Tops. All right. So let me know how we sound on the audio before we continue. Audio is cool. They said the audio is cool. Let's go ahead and do what we do. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go ahead and do what we do. Y'all already know what it is. Let's do the roll call, and then let's get into the conversation for this evening. You know what I mean? Happy Memorial Day for everybody that celebrates the Memorial Day type thing. Vincent, you want a wrench? We'll see by the end of the show. You know what I'm talking about? We'll see by the end of the show. Shout out to San Francisco, California in the building, all right? Shout out to San Francisco, California. Shout out to Maryland. You feel me? Shout out to Maryland in the building, all right? Shout out to Precious Mother Love in the building. Columbus, Ohio in the building. You know what I mean? I'm assuming that it's a day off for certain people. It's your holiday, or you know, y'all had some time with the family, barbecues and all of that. I see you. Shout out to San Antonio in the building. Shout out to San Antonio in the building. You dig? PG County, Maryland. We see you, all right? Shout out to PG County. All right? Shout out to the PG County family. Indeed. Boom, boom, boom. to know you. So yes, we'll continue to do the roll call. And then we also have some announcements that we want to make before we begin the show. We do have some announcements that we want to make. We're going to have some word from our sponsors, okay? As we allow the family to get in the building and whatnot. I know the YouTube don't be sending out the damn notifications usually like they used to. Let me see something. You're getting to know you. First word from our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out.
Peace, family. Peace, you and yours. Brother Red Pill reporting live and direct. Yes. Saturday, May 31st. Red Pillar, Blue Pillar, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. We present to you the Hip Hop Conspiracy Theorem, only on Zoom. Make sure you're in the building, 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace, love, and light. Out.
Peace, family. This is Brother Sharif Anail Bey, National Press Secretary for the Moorish Science Temple of America, Incorporated, under the leadership of Brother R. Jones Bey. Islam to the Cake Aliens. We'll see you Tuesday, May 27th, featuring myself, my brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad of the Nation of Islam, and of course hosted by the Twin Pillars. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tap in. Peace.
Peace. This is Brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Join us Tuesday, May 27th, along with Brother Sharif Anail Bey and the Twin Pillars, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Know the Ledger 444. Peace.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So you heard it right here, brother, ladies and gentlemen. Mañana, tomorrow, we're going to have our good brother Wesley Muhammad, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and our good brother Sharif Anail Bey. All right, they're going to be in the building. Look out for that. That show is going to be tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, featuring the Twin Pillars hosting our two good brothers. Make sure y'all are in the building for that classic, all right? And if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make that your business. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that are popping off, and you're gonna want to know that you're gonna want to have the notifications on so you get informed and whatnot. Yeah, we've been using that AI, Divine Goddess. We've been using that AI. We'll talk about that tonight. We'll have that conversation as well as we have this conversation about the creator economy. I want to have a real observation of the creator economy. I want to have a bill with y'all about some of the observations that I'm making inside of this space and whatnot. Here's another word from our sponsors. Shout out to Hip Hopolis. All right, we have some upcoming shows on our hip hop channel called Hip Hopolis. All right, so check this out, y'all. More Fire Fridays is coming back, y'all. More Fire Fridays.
We was wilding out before Nick Cannon popped. King Charles could kick a can of rocks.
Him and Kate is on cancer watch. Graveyards got golden dancers dancing on top. I guess Killmonger was right. We need another Panther to drop. The hands on the clock turned into the hands on the Glocks. The G9 Haitians caused France to flop. Barbecues with the Zoes and they dance in the pot. Zanzibar and Zanzibar under trance is a lot. Smoking pot to advance order plots. Broken clocks left the pantry stocks. Broken box left the panties drop. Token drops to enhance the pot. Broker stocks put the chains on blocks. Brother Love said we can't be stopped. I heard he had a hand in pocket and shot. Rumor has it that's the nigga that got Francis pop. 2020, 12, the year Francis dropped. 97 holes, same year the answers dropped. It's no way out. I heard they banned Ciroc, call him shaking. He had to dance from cops. How he went from making a band to trying to stop Cassie from taking a stand. Now he went from black excellence to making a plan to taking his plane to some acres of land in Jamaican sands, but leaving this half little naked man stranded, looking like Meek and Little Baby while Michael Rubin was making a sandwich. You breaking the bandwidth? Let's go, Brandon. I remember vote or die. You told the people hella lies, said that we was televised, the revolt was televised. I need to pray for some answers. Tell me, was it black excellence or black pestilence? If it's all about the Benjamins, then what's the estimates? They say he used to pay for dancers in half a gay Atlanta. That's what y'all want to do. Y'all want to be ballers, shot callers, and brawlers who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers.
More Fire Fridays, y'all. More Fire Fridays is coming back. You know what I'm talking about? More Fire Fridays is coming back. That is from the Blog Talk era when me and Blue Pill used to do More Fire Fridays, and that was like a freestyle. Not really freestyle, but you know, we let everybody get on there. The poets, the lyricists, you know what I'm saying? The brothers and sisters with the quill, with the pen. And we let everybody get up there and do their thing and whatnot. So on the channel that we made called Hip Hopolis, and I'll drop the link to that channel and whatnot. I'll drop the link to that channel so y'all can sign up. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that right now. Hip Hopolis is our hip hop channel that we have with Brother Rich. So we're going to be doing more content over there. You feel me? We're going to do more content over there. So we definitely am inviting y'all to come through and chop it up with us over there. Become a member and look out. Our next video that I think that we'll be doing is a review on the battle rap that took place between Joey Badass and all of the people that he went up against. All right. I was just waiting for the Kendrick tour to leave LA. I didn't know if he was gonna address Joey Bad. Not saying that he was supposed to, but it would have been, you know, people were just waiting. I was just seeing. You never know with this shit. You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. But he didn't say anything. So now we're gonna have to go ahead and weigh the battle out and you know, let everybody know how we see it. You know what I mean? From an unbiased standpoint, we just looking at the stats. You feel me? We just looking at the stats. So yeah, man, we just working. Shout out to the family. Techno Tuesdays is tomorrow. We have the 100 income streams. That is at the end. That's on Friday, the last class, I believe. This is class number 4. It's been a movie, yo. This shit right here. This 4 weeks right here, this workshop, when we put this bundle together, this is going to be crazy. You feel me? This is going to be crazy. I'm thinking about streaming the last class to the public and whatnot so y'all can see what we've been doing. Of course, May 31st, we got, that's on this Saturday coming up. Wesley Muhammad, that's going to be legendary. Make sure y'all in the building for that. Wesley on Saturday. And then the end of next month, we have Stone Mountain. All right, return to Stone Mountain. We're going to be linking up the whole weekend. This strong end is going to be, but the Stone Mountain is the initial event that's going to bring everybody to town. Now, I want to start from right there. Happy New Moon in Gemini, y'all. Happy New Moon in Gemini. Yeah, definitely tap into that energy. That's important. Okay, that's important. So right here, let's start right here. This strong end starting from, I believe, Friday, I had the pleasure of scrolling through my feed and whatnot, and I came across a video from the young brother Kai Cenat, right? Now, everybody who's familiar with the channel, who's been riding with us for the past year, okay, you may be familiar with the name Kai Cenat, and you may be familiar with the fact that we pointed out very early that the movement that Kai Cenat belonged to, which was the streaming movement, was a movement to pay attention to because of its potential, because of what it meant for the changing of the guards in terms of the power dynamics in what I call the creator economy, which is an economy that I belong to. It's an economy that I taught extensively through the year 2020 when it was the lockdown. We had the stream chasers. We had numerous workshops, master classes, and a few lectures. And it was talking about the passion economy. It was talking about the creator economy. And it was also talking about the gig economy, which all fall underneath the umbrella of the multi-trillion-dollar digital economy that many of us are familiar with now. Unbeknownst to us, maybe 5 years ago, it was very brand new, but we are very much familiar with the digital economy and the fact that it is a different economy from the one that we previously were dealing with in what is known as the 2D world. We are now functioning in the 3D world, and the 3D world is the digital world, right? The 2D world is obviously the physical world, the regular world where we had paper money and we were using credit cards and things of that nature. The digital world is cold wallets, cryptocurrency, and money being going through the air through zeros and ones and digital money, right? Where wallets are become parabolic wallets. There is something called the long tail. And you know, there are endless ways to quote unquote monetize both your skills, your gifts, your talents, and also products and services. Many people have been lifted out of poverty over the past 10 years as a result of pivoting, right? Being able to read the room, being able to forecast 5 years ahead of themselves, being able to be early to the quote unquote party and whatnot, right? Being able to take courses early in the game on IT, security, coding, programming, all of these different things, becoming a content creator early in the game, right? Making yourself a brand early in the game, uploading content daily or at least 4 times a week, right? Building up your platform, building up your channel, building up your page, building up your brand. People who have done this successfully are touching millions upon millions of dollars nowadays, right? Through brand deals, through quote unquote subscription models and whatnot, through memberships, and there's so many other different ways, right? So I'm always paying attention to the creator economy. Now, let me just share something with you. When it comes to my observation of the creator economy, I'm somewhat non-biased. And what exactly does that mean? What that means is I could pay attention to things that are going on in the economy and not judge, not be a old head, not be a quote unquote, not be a finger pointer, not be one of these weirdos and whatnot who, just like to nitpick and talk about what's happening and what's not happening, and all of that stupid shit. That's not me. I'm gonna pay attention to some things, and I'm gonna observe it like a fly on the wall would observe things, right? Even if I see things like coonery taking place, a little bit of shucking and jiving taking place, a little bit of behavior that teenagers participate in, and me not being a teenager, it could be apprehensive, right? Because I'm like, yo, I'm not a teenager, so I don't indulge in those type of behaviors and whatnot. But when I watch teenagers do it, I could distance myself from the fact that, hey, these are just teenagers, and teenagers are going to do what teenagers are going to do. Young adults are going to do what young adults are going to do. YNs are going to do what YNs are going to do. One of the reasons why the whole Cassinet thing caught my attention the other day, I think it was like on Thursday, I saw that he had something called the Streamers University, right? And what the Streamers University was the fact that Cassinet and a few other people in this quote unquote genre. It's a niche, it's a field, but it's part of the creator economy. To be honest with you, and I'll qualify it as we build on this and whatnot. I'll qualify it. And if you have children, you might not know anything about the streamers, but believe you me, as we have this conversation and as it moves forward, you'll understand why this is very important, right? And I would say that the Twitch business model is at this point, it could change, but at this point, it is at the top of the pyramid of the creator economy. It is the most profitable. It's the best business plan out of the whole creator economy. I feel that it sits at the top of it, above everything that's on the internet right now in terms of creators monetizing their time and their creativity. This is a business, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about it. It's motherfucking showtime. You understand? While I understand that I'm up here as a teacher and I have a role to play, at the end of the day, this is entertainment, okay? This is edutainment where I come from, but it's still the word tainment in it. This is business. It is the business of content creating. If somebody is ashamed to say that, well, that's just something that they got to deal with themselves. I'm going to keep it a buck. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the business of content creators creating, and I am a content creator, and I belong to the creator economy. I make no qualms about that, right? There's a freedom in being a part of the quote unquote creator economy. And just as I say it, Spin pulls up, Spin City in the building. Shout out to Spin. I gotta play that clip of yours, yo, because that's fire. That commercial you just made, that's legendary. Another creator in the content world that understands the formula that what? That content is king and engagement is queen. You can make all of the content in the world, but if you don't have any engagement, then you'll never really see the full potential of your content. Content is king, engagement is queen. And in my humble opinion, the streamers have garnered the most engagement, right? For the age, this is the age demographic that I'm speaking of, 0 to 30. If you're not inside of that age bracket, then you don't know who the hell FaZe Clan is. You don't know who the hell Duke Dennis is. You don't know who Kai Cenat. You don't know Soul Illuminati. You don't know a lot of these people. You don't know DDG. You don't know Rakai. You feel me? All of these names are oblivious. However, people inside of the age demographics of 0 to 30, I know Duke Dennis is 30. He's in his 30s and whatnot. But I'm mostly speaking that the zeros to the 30s are really locked in. Now, in the world of these streamers that I'm going to be speaking on right now, it goes from like 16 to about 30 to 31. So that would be Rakai in them age, what would be considered YNs, right? 16 all the way to 31, which is the most important demographics in the world right now, primarily because they're going to do what? Yeah, we're going to talk about Drake with his remix shit at the end. We're going to talk about the fake shit with Drake and his remix activities. So the 16 to the 30-year-olds are going to be running the world in the future, in the very near future. If you pay attention, the shift of power that's taking place right now is shifting from the older generations into the hands of the 16, between the 16s and the 30s, the younger generation, these future leaders and whatnot, what they call the future. That generation is the main focus that I'm going to be speaking on right now. So boom. So Kai Cenat says, I'm doing a streamers university. Kai Cenat being one of the biggest streamers in the world, right? He now pivots from his role of content creator into his role as what? As a producer now. He pivots into his role from one of the boys into a boss. This is his boss move, right? This is his boss move. So let's all do divine. Let's show the power of community, y'all. Once again, one of the reasons why I'm so impressed with the streamer community and I'm unimpressed with other communities, right, is because they are working the formula in what is known as the digital economy. I could talk about the raw streets. I could talk about the 2D world. I could talk about terrestrial life another day. Today, I'm talking about digital life, web 2.0 type shit. The fucking matrix, right? That's what I'm talking about. How to win in the matrix, how to work this shit the right way, and who are the people to focus on if you want to get a blueprint on how to win in this digital economy. I'm talking about who these people are right now, and I'm giving you some of the blueprints. And take notes. Do not be arrogant and think because I'm talking about some young people that is nothing that you need to pay attention to, because that is furthest from the truth. You could learn from a fool, and you also could learn. A wise man learns from a fool. Okay? A wise man learns from a fool. And I'm not calling none of these young men and women fools and whatnot, because once again, through observation, I don't see fools. I see that they smarter than some of these old dumb niggas. This is the generation who grew up plugged in. So Divine Goddess needs 4. She says she needs about 4 subscribers to go live, right? Let's come together as a community, right? Let's come together as a community and do this for her. Okay? Let's push Divine Goddess into her quote unquote her goal and whatnot. She needs 4 more subscribers to go live. Let's get her 14 subscribers right now. Click on her name and subscribe to her channel. And don't flake out on me. Like, I mean, come on. Let's do it. Once again, that's why I like Twitch, because Twitch has the subscribers right there on the screen. When people sign up, it's done right in your face. So there's none of that pump faking. You literally have to put it right there on the screen. You be about what you say that you're about, right? That's what I'm learning as I'm watching the Twitch people. They are doing what they say that they're going to do. They supporting each other with subscriptions by signing up $5. is the lowest subscription, up to like $500. You feel me? Millions of subscribers. So let me get back to Kai Cenat and what this whole thing is so I can paint the picture for the family in the building who might not understand what the hell I'm talking about. So Kai Cenat is one of the top 5 streamers in the world. You have Mr. Beast. No, I mean, you have I Show Speed. You have Kai Cenat. You have Aiden Ross. You have Black Boy Max, who is, you know, one of the he's like the wild dog. He's like the wild card right now. And you have like DDG and whatnot. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's a lot more and whatnot, but these are some of the most recognizable names and whatnot, right? They went from playing video games on a channel on this platform called Twitch and a platform called Kick. They don't play video games like that anymore. What they do now is they create television, right? They are the new soap operas. They are the new reality show. They are the new rappers. Matter of fact, bigger than that, they're the new wrestlers. And I saw that this strong when I was paying attention to the Streamers University, something that I did not intend on paying attention to the Streamers University. That wasn't on my repertoire of what I wanted to be doing this weekend, right? But once again, content is king and engagement is queen. Them niggas hooked me and got me engaged, right? They hooked me and got me engaged, and I was locked in all the way up until the last day, bro. And that shit was genius. And I was like, yo, these little dudes got this shit in a headlock. And the reason why I say that it's the new WWE is because somebody is teaching them the art of scripted content, right? They were doing scripted content, but you would not know that it was scripted if you were not paying attention. You had no idea that everything that was going on this weekend was scripted. They put on a fucking masterclass, okay? They put on a masterclass, bro. And Kai Cenat realized that he needed to do something to assert himself in the world of streaming, because ever since the beginning of 2025, right? Ever since the beginning of 2025, he's been losing the race to Black Boy Max. And then I Show Speed went to China and did some shit that, you know, that basically broke world records and whatnot. And, you know, he kind of got the attention of a lot of people. And then he was kind of popping for a minute. Yeah, India Love. India Love was a lead magnet. You understand? They had India Love there, and she was the lead magnet for engagement. The minute niggas seen that bubble, they did not look away, bro. She was the lead magnet for engagement. Tell me if I'm lying. Tell me if I'm lying. They knew what they was doing when they brought her on board, bro. And they was like, yo, wear them little, wear the velour suits and whatnot. And remember, all of the young streamers, all of the young gooners and whatnot, to India Love is like Rihanna is to the people of my generation. You know what I mean? Like India Love is like their Aaliyah. You feel me? In a sense, not because of her talents, but because she always was like, you know, everybody had a crush on her. They had a crush on her, even though she is neighborhood, right? So Kai Cenat was losing to Black Boy Max in terms of engagement, in terms of no, I didn't say Pam Grier. I didn't say India Love was Pam Grier, nothing. I just said that India Love to these young gooners, the gooners, she is like, look, remember, Kai Cenat blew up when he went out on a date with Tiana Trump, right? Keep in mind, we're talking about the mentality of 16-year-olds, right? 17-year-olds, 20-year-olds, young, horny gooners. That's what we're talking about. Young men whose hormones are going crazy. Yeah, if they brought Ruby Rose, it would have been the same type of thing. But Ruby Rose and DDG, they don't click because of past relationships. So she's the new Ruby Rose in that network. They built the whole world, right? They built the whole world, like the WWE built the whole world. You had the WWE, you had the WWF, you had like Friday, you had Smack, you had Raw, right? And inside of all of those Raws, inside of all of those worlds and whatnot, you had storylines, you had villains, you had heroes, you had people in the middle, you had love interests, you had rivalries. All of that is in a script now in this streamer world. If you pay attention, it's always been there to a degree, but you're really beginning to see it right now. Rapper Weed, man, oh my goodness, bro. So good that I haven't heard from you in a minute. It's good to see you, man. Salute to you. Remember, I said before, and I'm not gonna get up here like, remember I said that, because that shit is kind of corny. But I've said before that characters run the internet. Characters run the internet. If you want to pop on the internet, you should take acting class. And I'm not telling that to anybody in no type of facetious kind of way. If you want to make it in the quote unquote digital economy, you should go ahead and get an acting coach. I got an acting coach when I was modeling back in the days in 2003. I went to a 6-week course called a Spirited Actor in New York City, right? It was very expensive. My teacher's name is Tracy Marable Moore. She's known. You could Google her. The Spirited Actor, Tracy Marable Moore, the same acting coach for many of the rappers and whatnot. That was my coach. You feel me? There wasn't even an internet back then when I was taking acting classes. I didn't even know there wasn't even such a thing as social media in 2003 back then. None of that shit existed, but I knew in order to be a part of this quote unquote industry, there was going to be certain things that I needed to get underneath my belt and whatnot. So I went and I took an acting course, and that shit was dope. It was dope. But in all of the names that I can name right now, if you really pay attention, all of them are playing a character. Duke Dennis, DDG, I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, Ray, right? Rakai, Tylil. These are all the Clover Boys. Phantom. These are all characters. And it's a beautiful thing because they are in Zoe Spencer, Illuminati. All of them are characters. So, right? They all characters. They're all like wrestlers right now. And if they break character, what do they say? That they lose an aura, right? If they break character, then they lose an aura. Yeah, Cooking with Kaya was definitely Cooking with Kaya. She was a magnet. She was a fairy. What? She was a fairy. What? She was a fairy with a fatty. Work at daddy. Oh, my mama. Yeah, Cooking with Kaya. She was definitely a magnet. You know? She cheated on her boyfriend at the university, didn't she? She was a fairy, worked at daddy, or my mama. It was mad fairies there. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It was a lot of fairies there this weekend. Could we do that as this community? I think we can. I think that we're missing millions of dollars and it's on the motherfucking table. I think that we put millions of dollars on the table. I think that we deserve to really pay attention to the potential that we have as a community and our star power. Remember, this is edutainment, right? This is not entertainment. This is edutainment. This is a new form of quote unquote programming. This is television, y'all. Like Netflix and them, they don't got nothing on what the streamers are doing. They don't got nothing on what the streamers are doing. HBO and cable, they don't have none of that. They don't have none of that. These young quote unquote content creators, they are quote unquote bodying this shit right now. They are bodying this shit right now. And the Twitch subscription model, right? Subscription SaaS, they have subscription as a service. It's not the YouTube check model. It's a better model. These little niggas is clocking a lot of. I'm pocket watching. I went to Agent 101's class where he was showing niggas how to pocket watch. I learned how to pocket watch in the Streamers University. You know what I'm talking about? And he was showing the deals. He was showing how much they make a month. Family. If you're going to be on the internet, why not be on the internet and do this shit the right way? Do it the right way. Because this, this ain't the right way. These young dudes showed us the right way. I would be a fool to see what I saw and to continue to do this shit the wrong way. They gave up the game, bro. Yeah, of course he got offers from Netflix and Tubi. They want in. They was looking at them numbers. They want in. The retention is crazy. They like these little dudes was going live and they had 100,000. Toto was live from Brazil. And I said it before and I was trying to explain to people. The game. I was like, look, this is around the time when the migrants was around and niggas was acting like that was a problem. I was like, find a migrant who has a TikTok. Find a migrant who's viral in a motherfucking city or their country. Find a migrant that's on Twitch and jump on a Twitch. I said that damn near a year and change ago. When everybody was complaining about these fucking, the migrants this, the migrants that, the migrants that, I said, no. I said, find you a migrant and jump on a line, bro, and do a song with them and do Google Translate and speak to their audience and treat their people like a treasure. Make sure they get as much za they want to smoke. Make sure you bring them anything that they want. Make sure you cook for them. If they're in your city, if they're in your home, you're supposed to take care of them. So when you go to Brazil, when you go to China, you become iShow Speed in China. You become Kai Cenat in Brazil. Because when you take care of them, they're going to take care of you. They didn't do that. So what happened with Kai? Kai Cenat went to Brazil for IRL stream. He ran into a content creator named Toto, right? And Toto was streaming in Brazil. Kai went to Nigeria. He ran into a Nigerian dude, right? And he brought him to the university. He brought Toto to the university. He brought Ray from goddamn Thailand. He ran into Ray at a 7-Eleven. These are storylines that are creating characters or they're creating brands out of individual, but these brands are worth millions of dollars after he builds them up. Each one of these different streamers are brands that are individually worth millions upon millions of dollars just from live streaming. They don't even play video games no more. It started out, stream was about video games, but they not even playing video games no more. They just doing IRLs, and they doing they just talking, less chat. They just kicking it all day, doing Reddit reviews. They doing reaction videos. They doing reviews, reaction videos, shit like that. You know what I mean? They not doing video. Yeah, Funny Mike made 200K in 40 minutes. Yeah, he made I seen it. He made 200K in 40 minutes. Right? So we need that motion. We need that motion. Okay? Where are the conscious 16 to 30-year-olds? Where I didn't see one of them at the university. They didn't have no woke niggas at the university, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm gonna talk on something in a minute that that's gonna make a lot of sense, right? I'm gonna show you how that's gonna be completely offset if certain things happen, right? So let me rewind the tape, because I'm kind of all over the place, right? Because there's a lot of pieces to put into place as I paint this picture. So Kai Cenat makes the announcement, I'm doing a Streamers University, right? I'm doing a Streamers University. I want all of the streamers around the world to send in an application to be a part of this university. I'm only picking 150 people. People around the world didn't know exactly what that meant, but they said in their minds, if Kai Cenat is doing a Streamers University and he's the top streamer, this is going to be big, right? This is going to be big. So people started to apply from all around the world. And I believe to apply, you had to make like a video or something just to say why you should be accepted. Fast forward, the majority of the people that he picked was people that he fucks with, that he knows and whatnot, right? He got access to a college in Cleveland that he visited. Maybe I remember watching Kai Cenat like 2 years ago, and he visited a frat house, right? He visited this all-white frat house where, you know how the frat houses be on their nigga shit, like they love black music and they love nigga shit. So it was one of those things, right, where opposites attract. You understand? That's one of the big things online, where you throw things together that's not supposed to be together, and that creates automatic content. So yes, they were at Akron University, right? They went to Akron University out there where LeBron is from, right? So we all know when it comes to LeBron and Talil, how that Talil James and everything, how that whole thing is. There's a storyline with Talil being obsessed with LeBron James. So everybody knew that was going to be a movie and whatnot, right? So this is the genius shit that I'm looking at, right? Keep in mind, Kai Cenat is backed by McDonald's. Kai Cenat is backed by Mr. Beast, right? Because his fingerprints are all over this, right? As you can see, Mr. Beast is trying to get into the consciousness. I mean, he's trying to get into, Mr. Beast is trying to get into the Kai Cenat world, and Kai Cenat and them is trying to get into Mr. Beast world, right? Because Mr. Beast is touching damn near $1 billion. He's the god. He is the final boss in this whole thing, right? So Kai Cenat is getting money coming in from everywhere. Nike, McDonald's, you name it, right? State Farm, T-Mobile, right? So if anybody knows anything about sponsorships and brand deals and whatnot, all he has to say is, look, he could go to his sponsors and say, look, I'm about to do something. I need $1 million in quote unquote, I need y'all to cover $1 million. I need all of y'all to come together and cover $1 million bill, right? Y'all are going to get exposure. Y'all are going to get everything that you came for. Y'all are going to get branded. Y'all are going to get all of the quote unquote cool points from the what? The demographics of 16 to 30. Right? That's the remember, if you're in business right now, if you're in any type of business where you really get into that Skrilla and whatnot, then you know what that preferred demographics, how much people are looking at that demographics and how they pitch to them. Right? Yeah. You see Hood Mr. Beast, right? They got Hood Mr. Beast now with the motherfucking he got the fade, he got the white boy fade, and he wearing a bulletproof vest, and he pulling up in a Maybach. That's Hood Mr. Beast. That's Hood Mr. Beast. Right? So I'm sure that his sponsors covered all of the bills. And they basically rented out this college over the what? Over the weekend, right? Where there's this is a holiday weekend, it's Memorial Day weekend, so more than likely they had an empty wing of the college that he was able to rent out. So he rented out this wing of the college, and then he basically flew in 150 people, right? He flew out 150 streamers, right? 150 of them. He knew the majority of them, and there wasn't a lot of Caucasians in the bunch. There was Caucasian girls, of course, a few of them, but there wasn't really a lot of Caucasians. He was practicing DEI, or what we would say reverse DEI. He was fucking with the peoples. You know what I mean? He had a lot of people from all different diversities, Asians. He had some people from Brazil. He had some Africans, and then mostly, you know, the hood, like, you know, my niggas. Okay. A lot of new characters, right? That people probably never knew what they were introduced to. They would familiarize themselves with all of these new names, all of these new characters, all of these new personalities. All of this stuff was taking place. People were getting to meet each other for the first time. People were meeting their crushes. People were meeting their quote unquote, you know, people their dream collabs and whatnot. It was just a lot of fellowshipping taking place like on a first date, as would naturally happen anywhere. Like when we get together and we have our gathering of the masters and we have all of these events that we do to Stone Mountain and shit like that. I know what that feels like because I'm in those quote unquote environments. I know how magical that shit is because I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. The key to a lot of this shit is when we come together. That's the cheat code. We don't give ourselves enough credit, and I don't know why. I mean, you know, niggas are still healing and whatnot. We don't give ourselves enough credit as a community. When we get together, we're magical. The people that we got in our community, the names that we got in our community, the characters, the personalities, the brands in our communities are big, bro. I don't believe that we allowed the internet to beat us up. And when I say us, I'm not talking about us per se, because ain't nobody beat me up. But I've watched over the years the internet pound out the conscious community and they beat them up. They ran a fade with them. So many trolls beat up on so many good people over the years and whatnot. So many people got chased out of this community from even going live and making content. So many people got trolled and got embarrassed and got, cursed out and got, you know what I mean? Like cruelties and shit like that. And it took away the aura. Niggas wasn't aura farming like they was a few years ago. Niggas stopped aura farming. You feel me? I seen a lot of people lose their confidence and whatnot, get beat up, go through things in life, and not really make it out of the dark night of the soul. You know what I'm saying? It's just an observation, y'all, and it's unfortunate. But it's like, I look at these younger creators and I look at these other waves and whatnot, and I draw inspiration from them. I would say that, to be honest with you, Sonetta, House of Consciousness, Harlem, early YouTube, that was the first Kai Cenat. Remember, Kai Cenat really popped out and made his name known when he had that meetup in Union Square, and it caused a riot. Remember that? That was like early 2019 or something. When was that? He did a meetup in New York City to give away PlayStations, and like 5,000 kids came out, and they locked him up for causing a riot and whatnot, because it literally, he did something that I read in the book Network State, right? Where the book Network State talks about taking your following out of the digital world and transferring it into the physical world. Oh, it was in 2022 or 23. Damn, time be flying. But yes, that's when he popped off and got his name known, not by the streamers, because they already knew who he was, by the public. And once you become a public figure, and once something underground, this was his underground, overground moment. You understand? It was on August the 4th, 2023. This was his moment where he went from underground to mainstream. Became a household name because of that one demonstration. Now you got your moms in them. Once your moms in them say, yo, who's Kai Cenat? That's when you know things went from underground to, like, when your peoples was like, yo, who's Dr. Umar Johnson? And you at the picnic with like your with your snow bunny, and she brought the potato salad with raisins in it, and then your auntie, the slick auntie, she was like, yo, somebody get Dr. Umar on the phone. And you like, damn, they know about Umar? Fuck. You was trying to sneak in there on some Travis Hunter shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, like when Dr. Sabi went global, when he went commercial, right? When Dr. Sabi went commercial, right? That was like when Kai Cenat and them went commercial, because once again, Kai Cenat and them were underground, like how consciousness was underground. Consciousness was the first Kai Cenat type movement on the internet. Remember, because when you think about it, when the internet really blew up, what movement was the movement that blew up when the internet first blew up? It wasn't streaming. Niggas wasn't playing video games like that. It wasn't the streaming. It wasn't even podcasts, because that wasn't out. It wasn't the financial niggas that was like, yo, buy my course. That wasn't out. It was consciousness. It was street consciousness was the first viral, black viral type of movement. Even Black Twitter could not compare, because Black Twitter don't have faces and names. They were not outside in the terrestrial world. Black Twitter was tweeting, my nigga. They were karate chopping the keyboards. Black Twitter was a bunch of acts, right? The House of Consciousness and the conscious community, they was outside. And they wasn't outside inside of school buildings. They was in the streets with hoodies on, These niggas had gold chains and they was in the hood with the hoodlums. Okay? Let's be clear. Whenever y'all seen us outside, we wasn't on a safe part of town. We was in the trenches. Okay? In our city, and then we would go to other people's city and we was outside. You know what I'm saying? So we was waking them up and we was shaking them up. The world never seen no shit like that. The world never seen no shit like that. We had the motherfucking Hebrew Israelites looking like Power Rangers. They never seen nothing like that, bro. We was outside. Niggas had to walk around us. You ain't never seen no stream where somebody walked and pushed everybody out the way and was like, get up out of here type shit. Niggas never disrespected the cipher. Now, they was being disrespectful inside of the cipher, but you ain't never seen no knuckle draggers. As tough as y'all say that the hood is, and as raw as the hood is, and as dumb as a YN is, none of them niggas ever walked past and disrespected anything that was going on. And them cameras was on live. And believe me, Sinetta and everybody, if the shit ever happened, they want views. They knew that views was they would have put that shit up. They would have put it up. So we was having our way on the internet when the shit really started popping off. Okay? Nah, you ain't never heard nothing about no that wasn't that ever. That wasn't happening. You know? So going back to the Castanet Streamers University. So he brings 150 people in. They put them up. They first have an assembly where he introduces the students and then he introduces the professors. Now, the professors that he chose are mostly OGs. Now, in the Twitch world, anybody that was popping on YouTube is an OG. So Sinetta, all of us, we would be OGs to the Twitch era because we were masters of the YouTube before Twitch came along. We were who they probably was looking at or who they was looking up to or who they were tapped into and whatnot. There is a I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but DDG, right, who has reinvented himself in the streaming era, is one of the most recognizable. But Castanet comes from YouTube as well, right? But DDG is basically the OG content creator / YouTube, turned streamer, right? And he was chosen as a professor. India Love, Professor Duke Dennis, Professor, these are the streamers that are lit, right? And these are the streamers who've been doing this for a minute so they could teach. Ben the Dawn and whatnot, Professor, everybody that was basically some of the unks and whatnot. The older people were professors and the younger people who were the streamers were the students. Now think about it. All communities have upstarts in them. All communities have students who want to eventually become teachers. All communities have people who are in the audience, right, who admire whoever's on the stage, right? Whoever's on the camera, whoever's in front of them. They're learning from them, right? They're learning from both their wins and their losses. They're tapped in with them, right? You know what I mean? They're tapped into their algorithm and whatnot. They're learning their lexicon. They're learning their ways and whatnot. They like the character. They can relate to the character, right? This is the internet. This is how this thing works. So in all communities, regardless of what community you belong in, there are younger people who are waiting to get on, right? So what did Kasinet realize? Kasinet realized in order to bring all of these different streamers together and form to assert my power, to assert my influence, to assert my quote unquote dominance in the streaming world, I'm going to create a university and I'm going to bring all of these streamers together, and I'm going to be the one who is going to be responsible for popping them off, right? I'm going to be the one who's responsible for getting them to this next phase. I'm going to be the one who they're going to have to always thank and be like, yo, if it wasn't for Kasinet, man, I went from basically having 10,000 subscribers to now I got 60 to 100 to whereas I'm making millions of dollars. They're gonna, you know what I mean? They're not gonna say Plaque Boy Max. They're not gonna say I Show Speed. They're not gonna say Face Clans. This is his competition, y'all. Because of course, this is competition now. Because everybody is fighting for the subscribers. Right? They're fighting for the subscribers, which is the new oil. Okay. So yeah, Agent had a great class, that pocket watching, but DDG's class on how to handle internet beef, that shit was genius. The DDG shit was genius. I liked Agent's class, but I loved that shit the DDG was explaining about how to deal with internet beefs. You feel me? Because he should know he's always in beef. Of course, there's gonna be streamers that were mad that they didn't get in. That's what made it pop. Zoe Spencer made the streamer shit even bigger. And then when Soluminati had to ether her and trying to kind of like ended her career, you know, that even made the Streamers University even bigger and whatnot. And we're going to talk about Soluminati in a minute, right? Because he's the wild card in this whole thing. Okay? He's a wild card. So, yeah, Zoe Plant, right? Gazer. So, going back to what I was saying, when Kai realized that he could bring all of these people together to create content underneath one roof, that's what he did. Okay? That's what he did. And it was genius. There's no other way around it. It was genius. It was something that was very genius in my humble opinion. Everybody got along to a degree. Everybody played their position. There were multiple storylines at play. There were some new stars that were made in the past few days that are going to be quote unquote they're going to be huge this year. They're going to be the ones to watch. I believe it was Toto from out of Brazil. The Nigerian dude, Shank. There's a few of them. I don't like that Asian chick that's mad loud. I'm not really feeling her too tough. She needs to relax. She's doing too much. There's a few of them. When they come across to my mind, I'll throw the names out there. I seen that they had two twins as well. Shout out to the two twins. The two twins looked like they were interesting and whatnot. They looked like they was doing what they need to be doing. Yeah, she sound like a guy. The fuck? If you don't sit your ass down, what are we doing? The two twins, they was chilling. You feel me? They was definitely chilling. She's from New York. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure she from New York. She sound like she from New York. You know? India Love is rebranding, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm not mad at the rebrand. You know? I'm not mad at the rebrand. And the way that they're working her into the rebrand, it works because a lot of people are thirsty over her, and she knows how to play her aura, and I'm not mad at it. Everybody want to judge and whatnot, but I'm not here for that. It's the new wrestling. It's the new wrestling. Some of these characters, they might be real life villains and whatnot, but it's the new wrestling. And it is what it is. It is what it is. We do need our own Twitch though. I really don't feel 100% strong giving Twitch all of this money. That's why I didn't run over to Twitch, right? And start saying, yo, let's do this Twitch thing. Let's chase behind the streamers and whatnot. I respect the platform. I respect the formula. I respect what they're doing. But I don't want to run behind. I would rather build something up on my own. I'm just on that type of time. I do feel like people 40 and over have they have a space on Twitch. I do feel like there's millions upon millions of dollars on Twitch, right? Yeah, but they be banning the cloth talk. They allergic to the cloth talk. They kind of want people to stay underneath a certain type of bar. You know what I mean? They want people to stay underneath a certain type of bar. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. It is what it is. But I don't feel like my brand and what we represent have any business over there. You feel me? But Twitch is not the end all be all and whatnot. It took the streamers many, many years to build up Twitch. So it will take us many, many years to build up whatever we need to build up. But once that shit is built, once that castle is built, then it's on and popping. It is on and popping. The method or the formula that Twitch has introduced is definitely one that I paid attention to, and we don't need to copy anything, but we need to just pay attention because the formula of what Twitch represents, right? Because to be honest with you, OnlyFans is the same formula, right? OnlyFans is the same formula that Twitch is using. Subscription services. Right? Behind a paywall, you put content behind a paywall, and it's a subscription service. Yeah, they copy each other. It's not the same exact thing as OnlyFans, but it's using the same formula. And if I gave you Kick as well. If I showed you the numbers that OnlyFans is doing, it would blow your effing mind. If I showed you, I just looked at their numbers the other day. If I showed you their numbers, bro, it will destroy your mind. They are doing unfathomable numbers. And this is the house. You know how they say that the house wins and whatnot? The numbers that they're doing just off of transactional fees is in the multiple billions. So going back to the initial conversation, right? You know why I could tell you that the streamers are bigger than the rappers? I could use this simple formula, right? The rappers don't have the same social value as the streamers. You can't kill a streamer. Just think about it. You could kill a rapper, but you can't kill a streamer. If somebody was to kill a streamer, I don't even know what will happen. And I don't wish that at all, and I'm not putting that out there. But you can't kill a streamer, but you could kill a rapper. There's rappers that are expendable, bro. There's rappers that die, and I be like, yo, I ain't never heard of that rapper a day in my life. And then I go and listen to their music. And I might rock with it for a minute, and then it's on to the next. And then they're forgotten. Like rappers are forgettable. Streamers are not. Streamers have a heart and mind connection with their audience in the ways that the rappers never will have with all of the raps that they rap on, and they will never be able to have that connection. Streamers are daily, rappers are occasionally, right? What does that mean? That means that streamers are streaming every day, all day. They brought you into their life. They brought you into their personality. They're not rappers. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have a glamorous lifestyle. They're not quote unquote talented like that. Their talent is their authenticity and their character, or the authenticity and their quote unquote, whoever they are, whoever they claim to be. That's what they're selling. Right? The streaming thing will become oversaturated like everything else becomes oversaturated. However, we are speaking of a time when it's not oversaturated, when we are in the earlier stages. Wrestling is oversaturated. However, the wrestling industry, or the wrestling, it managed to create stars, superstars, and megastars. The Rock, what was his name? The Rock, that nigga's making $81 million a year in films. Whatever his name is, Johnson, The Rock. He's making $81 million, and niggas like Will Smith is still making, Dwayne Johnson is making $81 million, and people like Kevin Hart is behind him, and Will Smith is behind him. Feel me? So the same way that wrestling was able to create megastars is the same way that the streamers are going to create megastars. They are working with the WWE. I'm convinced. The biggest company with the best script in the game is the NFL. Right after that is the WWE, my nigga. Y'all need to get into the script writing. Like, get into the script writing, bro. Learn about the scripts, because the scripts are running. That's what runs the game. A fucking script. A fucking script. Yeah, the Kevin Hart was spending the night with Kai. Yeah. Once Kevin Hart plugged in with him, that was the Hollywood connection. That's when Kai started going and getting his roles. He's going to be a movie star. He's going to be the new Kevin Hart. Right? It's going to be the new Kevin Hart. Okay? And Kevin Hart is going to help him do it. Okay? Who could we sell scripts to? There's a lot of people you can sell scripts to. They buying scripts every single day. I'm in Atlanta. This is the land of people selling scripts. But in Hollywood, of course, that's where the scripts are being sold. It's big money in scripts. It's big money in scripts. I Show Speed was in WWE. Yeah, so was Kai. Kai was in WWE. Like I said, remember the Jake Pauls and all of them, and they're running the WWE now. Hip hop is running. White boys that are into hip hop, they're running the $1 trillion wrestling industry. So they tapped in. The white boys that are running WWE have tapped in with Travis Scott. They tapped in with Quavo. They tapped in with I Show Speed. They're tapped into to hip hop, right? So they are passing the script that they perfected in the WWE to the streamers, right? Because Mr. Beast, he's the one that will show you how script driven everything is. Mr. Beast is the plug. Mr. Beast is the plug. He's the one that's helping Kai and them turn into the big bag, to get the big bag, to really turn this shit into something that is a bigger movement than what they probably could have ever seen. If I were the streamers, I would stay far away from the rappers as possible. They don't need the rappers. The rappers need them. I would stay far away from these rappers as possible, even though they say don't meet your heroes and don't meet your idols and whatnot. If I was the streamers, I would stay far away from the fucking rappers who are cursed, who have blood on their hands, who are contracted, who are spirit cooked because of their contracts. Stay far away from them, because what the rappers are going to do is they're going to convince the streamers to become slaves and to sign up to some type of slave contract to become some type of fucking pet in perpetuity for one of these small hats. That is exactly what the rappers are liaisons for the devil. You understand? The rappers are liaisons for Remick. Okay? The rappers are proverbial stacks outside of the goddamn juke joint telling his brother to come outside and sign the contract. That's what the rappers are. They're compromised. Stay far away from them. They don't have no power. The streamers got more money than them. Right? So at the end of the Streamers University, the only thing that really made me sad is that when Kai was doing an award ceremony, right, he opened up the screen and who was sitting there but Aubrey Graham reading from a fucking tablet, right? He didn't even have the speech off the top of his head. But yeah, Mr. Culture Vulture himself, Mr. Remick himself was right there, right? Waiting to suck the blood from these motherfucking streamers. Mr. Remick himself. Right? With his fangs, the same way that he did for URL Smack when he was quote unquote in the wings and whatnot, sitting in the shadows, watching the battle rappers, glazing the battle rappers, and trying to figure out how he could steal their aura. Right? So he's sitting back, focusing on the quote unquote streamers and trying to figure out how he could steal their aura because they're the hottest thing in the motherfucking game right now. Okay? They are the hottest thing in the game right now. So to see a group of melanated black boys having black boy joy, and I don't give a fuck about cursing because I was a potty mouth at around 13. My stepmom was coming home from work and she came around the corner and I sounded like a sailor. Pop out of Sailor Man and she smacked me right in my teeth, my nigga. I was potty mouth like Rakai and them little niggas. So if niggas sit on this stage and be like, but they be cursing and whatnot. Once again, I'm with authenticity. Let a 16-year-old be authentically themselves and don't have to try to act up and play, and play fake for the camera. Nah, little nigga, do what you do at 16, because at 16 I was on Rikers Island. There's no other way around that. Niggas was criminal minded where I'm from at 16. We were hardened already. So to see Rakai at 16 and he's having issues that a 16-year-old is having, he's like hyper and he's bad and he's like, he's kind of like ADD and whatnot. Look, that's the character. It's a character. So to see all of these streamers, they're not selling drugs. They're not addicted to drugs. They're not telling you to rob and steal. They're not telling you to quote unquote hustle and whatnot. Yeah, you have people who are problematic. The DDGs of the world, they got shit that they need to work on, and they got issues that they need to work through and whatnot. He got the situation with his BM, and I wish he could get his son back. You feel me? There are certain things that some of these young streamers, they can use the OGs. They can use some unks. They can use some schoolies in their life. They can use some motherfucking some mentorship. Henceforth, even though people look at Kevin Hart sideways and look at him like he has ulterior motives, I do respect a Kevin Hart coming in to kind of like guide one of the young gods, to guide Kai Cenat and the rest of AMP into a little bit of the entertainment world and whatnot. You know, pause. You got to be careful and don't go to a Diddy party. But, you know, it is what it is, right? To see young black boys and girls, young black men and women, young adults doing things other than the most vile, lowly, degenerate, backsliding behaviors in order to gain attention and to get a few dollars. The fact that they are not up there selling their body and whatnot, the fact that they not up there, quote unquote, taking penitentiary chances, the fact that they not up there trying to be gangbangers and super tough and whatnot, I have to honor that. I have to honor that. I have to somewhat salute that in a way. They could be doing other things. Because on the flip side of that, there's a whole cottage industry of cadavers and bodies and whatnot that I got to catch up on YouTube of young niggas that got their shit pushed back. You know what I mean? If I want to venture into the graveyard, into all of the shit going on in Alabama, Baton Rouge, Memphis, the hoods of Atlanta and whatnot, all of these young kids that are killing each other nonstop, right? This Holocaust, this genocide that's taking place on the flip side of what the youth are doing, I'm tapping out of that. I would rather tap in to the shenanigans and the antics of the streamers and follow that storyline, because that storyline is a little more uplifting and it has more surety than the shit that I was tapped into before with drill rap and gangbanging and all of the trench news and all of that depressing, low level, low frequency death culture. Fuck all of that. That shit gotta die. Let that shit die. You know? Let it die. And once again, I'm not handing the throne or putting the keys of the younger generation in the hands of a Kai Cenat or anybody of that younger generation. I'm just reporting as an observer and whatnot, and as a cultural connoisseur, and also as a critic of culture. I'm just pointing out what the fuck is going on in the culture right now without being biased. I'm giving you a frontline report. I'm giving you an in-depth report about what's going on in the world that some of our children belong to. Okay? And that world is moving at such a fast pace. They've already lapsed the two worlds into our world, to whereas on your timeline, they are giving you bits and information about 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. You didn't ask for this, but they're on your timeline. They're on your YouTube feed. They're on, you know what I mean? They're on my feed. They're all over the place. So whatever PR these little niggas got, they done dropped a big fucking bag, and these little niggas are everywhere. The streamers have integrated and they're everywhere, right? Shador Sanders, all of these young people, Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, these are the young people, right? They're everywhere. So the younger generation has merged with the older generation to whereas their relevancy is being onboarded daily. You're not going to get away from them. You're not going to be able to ignore them. You understand? We got to figure out what to do collaboratively with them to make it make sense, because they're here. They're here. Okay? They are here, and I don't want to ignore them. You know, I'm enthralled by the youth. You feel me? I have a 17-year-old. I'm enthralled by the youth. I've been watching them grow up. for a minute now. You feel me? I'm enthralled by the youth as to their potential and what it is that this world that they are all coming up in, and how good, they have things, and how perfect their timing is. You feel me? Yeah, salute to them. But once again, the talent in our community that is hidden, because we have hidden talent. I want the children in our community to build their own type of streamers university. We need people who are vibrating on a different frequency to carve their own lane. Don't follow Castanet. Don't try to get down with AMP and all of that. That's not your frequency. That's not for you and whatnot. I'm talking to the young guys that are watching this, that are 18 and 19 and 20 and stuff like that. Build your own shit, right? Build your own shit. You know what I mean? Like, create your own lane. You have so much potential. You feel me? Keep in mind that the younger people are going to grow up to want to be like you. The opposite is not true. You're not going to grow up to want to be like that. You're not going to want to grow up to be like how Castanet and Tylil and them are right now. You're not going to want to grow up to be like Rakai, right? They're going to want to grow up to mature and be more like you. So they'll gravitate to you before you gravitate to them. So all you got to do is build it, and they will come. Don't focus on where they at, where you might be at the moment, or where they are at the moment. The pendulum always swings and whatnot. What we do know is we live in an age of consciousness. We live in an age of awareness. We live in an age of quote unquote information and whatnot. I'm not familiar with Soluminati's whole backstory. I know that he had a mental breakdown and whatnot, because he was tapped into, I know that he tapped into the consciousness. I know that he was tapped into young Pharaoh, I believe it was. I believe that was his enlightener back in the days. I think he tapped into the young Pharaoh stream of consciousness when it was, at its heights, right? Around 2020. And so Illuminati was an OG YouTuber who basically began to wake up his following, right? Is that correct? He began to wake up his following and whatnot through his awakening and through his enlightenment. And, he began to preach against the matrix, and he began to quote unquote preach against the quote unquote the holographic simulation and whatnot. Yeah, he was tapped into Rashad Jamal as well, correct? Yeah, he was the one, he was beefing with DDG, and then he lost his brother. He had a brother that got killed, correct? He had a brother that got murked and whatnot, and as a result of that, he basically fell off. He fell back, and he disappeared off the internet. Right, his brother's death is what made him take a break. Is he a part of the conscious community? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If he's a part of the community, he's a part of the community from being in the audience. He is a student, but he's not a part of the community. And I'm only saying it to the point where he's not aligned with the community in that sense, right? And he is the wild card. He is a wild card because he's the one that represents the consciousness, right? For better or for worse. Remember, I'm talking about characters, and characters open up doors, right? And characters are bridges. Characters, that's how you work it in the script. As the conscious or the woke character, he's what all of that will come through. So truth be told, if he wanted to, and if he would have showed up to the goddamn university, that would have been that he would have crashed it. He would that would have crashed the internet if he would have popped up. Because one thing about Illuminati, you don't see him around none of the streamers. He don't be around none of the streamers. They look up to him, but you don't see him collaborating with any of the streamers right now. Yeah, he turned down a kick deal. Yeah, fuck Aiden Ross. Nobody wants to be around Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross is Remick. You know, if he links with Illuminati, that'd be huge and whatnot. That'd definitely be huge. But yeah, he holds a lot of keys in his hands because if he wanted to, he could basically start his own little conscious thing and whatnot. He could really start his own conscious thing, and he would be the one that will draw out all of the conscious streamers, because there's conscious streamers out there. They just don't have a platform to stand on because Casanet and them don't support that. They don't support consciousness. They won't support a conscious platform. And it's nothing against that and whatnot. That's just not the energy that they represent. That's not the frequency that they represent. They represent more of they're more of a lower frequency. You know, they're more of a lower frequency. They're not going to get deep with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because once again, everybody can't do everything. Everybody can't do everything. You feel me? I feel like that's Illuminati's lane, because he's been carving that lane and he's been trying to teach the young niggas, and he's been giving them knowledge of self, and he's been trying to drop some things for years now. So as the people in the audience get older, they become parents, they have their midlife crises, they have their reawaken, they have their eureka moments, they have their quote unquote sparks of light moment. You know what I mean? They take their red pills, then they get caught up. Then they tap in and be like, Geyser, I understand what you're talking about with the matrix. You know what I mean? All of that shit. You know? Is Kaya considered a streamer? In a way, she is. She's streaming on TikTok with the Cooking with Kaya, and then the way that they're gonna set it up, she will be on Twitch. You know, moving forward. Yeah, Talil is one of my favorites out of that whole. I would definitely say Talil has grown on me. I love Talil. He's a real Bronx character. Like he's from the concrete. You know what I mean? He's from the concrete. If only young Pharaoh could have stayed on. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Yeah, he dropped the biggest bag ever. The biggest bag. He has so much potential to get the bag. But yeah, she's not a streamer, but she's a certified content creator. However, moving forward after the university, I'm seeing the merging of the two. The merging of the content creator and the streamer, to whereas they're going to be blended and you won't tell the difference. By bringing in Funny Mike, Cooking with Kaya, India Love, a lot of those type of people, they created somewhat of a blend. And once again, the streamers are not playing video games. The streamers are not playing video games. A young lady conscious streamer will go more viral than a man conscious streamer right now. I'm just putting that out there. A young lady conscious streamer, like what's her name? Conjure Queen. There's a few of them, but a baddie, a streamer who could like do the cards, and she could read people like how Sister Myra could read them, and she could do an accurate read and whatnot. She could go viral. But if it was like more spiritual in a sense, she could go viral quicker than a dude can. You feel me? she could go viral quicker than a dude can. I promise you. I will coach her. You know what I'm talking about? I will coach her. You know? But it got to be Big Mama energy to open up the door for the bros. I don't think it's the other way around. I think Big Mama energy will open up that door, and the gods and the rest of the goddesses will come in and do what they got to do. But she could build a universe around her. She could build a universe around her, or she could build a world around her, or a network around her. And then simultaneously, the people that get introduced, they begin to build themselves up individually. Now, I'm saying all of that to say this. This is when it's all going to come to a head, y'all. This is my plan. I'm going to do a casting call. And I'm going to do a casting call at the top of this mountain. Okay? On June the 28th, which is almost in 30 days, y'all. Almost in 30 days, right? Right after the summer solstice, we're going to be going to Stone Mountain as a collective, right? And in the perfect world, everybody that comes on that mountain should be live streaming, right? Everybody that gets on that mountain on that morning should have a cameraman with them that's live streaming them either on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, wherever your shit is monetized. Because don't do it for free. I'm here to let you know. Don't do it for free. Get to your bag. Get to your bag. You feel me? F that. Don't do it for free. Don't do it for the free 99. Have somebody with you, a cameraman, a camerawoman. Go live. Interact with the people. Shake hands, kiss babies, take pictures. Go viral. Right? You belong to a community that is a movement. Make no mistake about it. This community is a movement. Okay? And the potential of this community is not yet realized. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we need to hurry up and realize it because we're missing out on a lot of opportunity, I feel. Right? We got stories to tell. So I'm doing a casting call. I'm doing a casting call. You know what I'm talking about? I want to meet the next quote unquote stars and whatnot. I want to meet the next master teachers. I want to meet the next quote unquote Billy Carsons, the next Sirius, what Dr. B Sirius is. You feel me? I want to meet the next Queen of Four. We want to bring y'all to the big stage. So we're going to be doing, this is not going to be a major casting call because we have the whole day. The majority of the day, we're going to be at the bookstore on Edgewood. But on top of the mountain, we'll definitely be taking information. We definitely will be signing people up. We definitely will be holding small rehearsals for the casting call. Okay? We don't want to let the cat out the bag right now as to what it is that we are doing. But if you know anything about how our minds work, then you know that we're doing something big. Feel me? Then you know that we're doing something big. You know that we're going to be doing something that's going to make the summer lit. You know that we're going to do something that's going to leave a mark. I'm inspired. You know what I mean? I'm enthusiastically inspired. I'm invigorated right now. So I'm going to make it make sense. But we all have each other to quote unquote thank at the end of the day that we found each other. And not only have we found each other, but I'm going to show you how we're going to be able to find a lot more in each other that makes a lot more sense. It doesn't help anybody to know one another if we can't take this shit and turn it into an industry. Okay? And you literally could turn it into an industry just being yourself. Don't even try hard. You don't got to do much. Just show up. Just show up, man. You literally almost are there. You got one foot in the door. The next thing you got to do is show up with a plan. You just can't roll out of bed and think that this shit is going to work for you. No, you need a motherfucking plan. You need a script. You got to know who your character is and stay in character. I don't want to meet the real you. Not on that mountain. I'm not interested in the real you. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, we at work. I'm not interested in the real you. If we was in Hollywood on a studio or on a stage and you had the caucasity to pull up with your real persona, nigga, I would get you escorted off of the goddamn studio lot. You know what I mean? Pull up in character, because that's who I want to meet. I'm not ashamed to say it. This shit is this is a conglomerate. You know what I mean? And I think that we've been playing games too long and we're not seeing our full potential. But I'm not going to be sitting around wasting my motherfucking time when I'm surrounded by billionaires and superstars and megastars. I'm working on identifying these people. And I'm working on turning this motherfucking, I'm Rapunzel. I'm here to spin some weaves into some gold thread, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I'm ready to spin some wigs and weaves into some gold thread. You know? You working on a script with the help of AI. Keep doing it then, shit. Keep working on it. Word from our sponsors real quick, y'all. Word from our sponsors. And if you want to learn how to make these videos with the talking babies, pull up to Techno Tuesdays mañana. Pull up to Techno Tuesdays tomorrow.
Illuminati, they want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me. Anunnaki want the gold on my body, and these hotties want the soul in my body. It's like I'm Rocky in the cold with a shotty. The wrist is rocky and it's cold like it's hockey. They said this can't be pop. Simeon Togo, my ninjas can't be stopped. Is this by chance or not? They banned you from TikTok where you ninjas is known to dance a lot. Did you know they in Africa sitting at the round tables like they Lance a lot? Talking about France a lot. They finally said, man, cancel that, like Nino told that fancy dot. Get your ass blocked like candy shots. 9 nations made family salat. They told France to rot. If they try to stop, their plans are flop. They get banned from blocks that was once a candy shop. All of this happened and no cannons popped. This was around 2023, right before Shannon popped.
Check this out. Check this out. We got Spin City pulling up.
GPS. Rhythm of the ancestors, drums in my chest, future in my veins, heart's GPS. Concrete jungle hums, city lights confess, ancient whispers guide me through the urban maze. Rhythm of the ancestors, drums in my chest, future in my veins, heart's GPS. Concrete jungle hums, city lights confess, ancient whispers guide me through the urban maze.
Illuminati, they want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me. Anunnaki want the gold on my body, and these hotties want the soul in my body. It's like I'm Rocky in the cold with a shotty. The wrist is rocky and it's cold like it's hockey. They said this can't be pop. Simeon Togo, my ninjas can't be stopped. Is this by chance or not? They banned you from TikTok where you ninjas is known to dance a lot. Did you know they in Africa sitting at the round tables like they Lancelot? Talking about France a lot. They finally said, man, cancel that like Nino told that fancy dot. Get your ass blocked like can be shots. 9 nations made family salat. They told France to rot. If they try to stop their plans to flop, they get banned from blocks that was once a candy shop. All of this happened and no cannons popped. This was around 2023, right before Shannon popped.
To this day.
Yeah, man, we just having fun with the tools. You know what I'm talking about? We're just having fun with the toolbox. Playing with the tools, you know? Playing with the tools. What program are y'all using to make them? I use ChatGPT for the baby AI, and then I use the Hedra. I use Hedra for the lyrics and the audio and whatnot. I recorded myself, and then I uploaded it into Hedra, and then it did the lip sync. So, yeah. You know what I mean? What app is VO3 any better? VO3 is the best app right now for video generation. VO3 is the fucking truth. Like I said, we literally can make movies now. We literally, if we sit in the crib, we can make a short movie right now. I can make a movie with one man. I don't need nobody. But I need somebody. But I don't need nobody. You know how them shorties be like, I don't need nobody. Well, with the AI, nigga, I don't need nobody. You literally could be a one-man movie maker. Look, Hollywood said that they are considering AI movies for Grammys, for Oscars, I mean. Once they said that, you should have known that they were coming with the Garfunkel, with the funk. You know what I mean? You should have known they was coming with the funk. And that's exactly what they have came with. This shit is only going to get better from here. You feel me? Yeah, Midjourney is where Spin City was able to create the visuals, right? And then he animated it using either Runway or Kling. But Midjourney makes the best visuals. I use ChatGPT to make the baby AI like this.
Red pillar, blue pillar. Dr. Wesley Muhammad. We present to you the Hip Hop Conspiracy Theorem, only on Zoom. Make sure you're in the building, 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace, love, and light. Out.
Peace, family. This is Brother Sharif Anail Bey, National Press Secretary for the Moorish Science Temple of America, Incorporated, under the leadership of Brother R. Jones Bey. Islam to the Keith Aliens. We'll see you Tuesday, May 27th, featuring myself, my brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad, of the Nation of Islam, and of course hosted by the Twin Pillars. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tap in. Peace.
Maybe Sharif.
Peace. This is Brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Join us Tuesday, May 27th, along with Brother Sharif Anail Bey and the Twin Pillars, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Know the Ledger 444. Peace.
Baby Wesley. What are we talking about? So y'all know my thing is Boss Baby. Y'all know my thing is Boss Baby, right? What about babies being born with salt and pepper in the future? Huh? What about babies being born silver foxes in the future? Talking about you got an old soul. Yeah, nigga, and I got gray hair too. How about it? And I'm only two. I already got gray hair. No, Benjamin Button. remember, remember they had the white people that was Cabbage Patches. The white little that they used to have the little white babies with the old faces. Oh my goodness. Let me look and see if we can find these little niggas. I don't even know what ever became of them white people. White people, Cabbage Patch white folks with the old faces. That's what these little motherfuckers remind me. Yeah, I can't get the picture right away, but I'm gonna pull that shit up in a minute. You know? Baby Pillar's a hit. Yeah. Baby Pillar gonna be pulling up doing lectures and all of that. You know what I'm talking about? But man, I want to say thank everybody for your time tonight in this build that we have. I appreciate y'all for being mature about it, because when you're talking about young adults and teenagers, you know, people could be very critical and very judgmental about these youth and whatnot. However, y'all were very understanding, and we had a great conversation where we were able to put on record. Me personally, I'm proud of these young men and women. I'm proud of the younger generation. I'm proud of the streamers. I'm proud of what I saw this weekend at Streamer University. Like, I was literally locked in. It was like TV for me. You feel me? I was impressed. And I didn't think that I would have been impressed. I did not think. I literally went there to hate. You feel me? Because I was like, man, I'm tired of Castanet. What the fuck? I don't. What is? You know? I went there thinking I was ready to hate. I had a plate of hate ready to eat, my niggas. But I walked out of there and I was like, I'm not. There's not much I could judge against these young adults. These are young people, right? Who got their parents in their life, by the way. These are not renegades. These are not runaways. These are not killers. These are not crack sellers. These are not quote unquote pimps. These are not drug dealers. These are not trappers and whatnot. These are not carjackers. These are not pill poppers. These are not lean sippers. These are not YNs. These are young entrepreneurs. These are young creators and whatnot. These are young actors and actresses. You feel me? And a lot of our youth, our children want to be them. You ask the youth these days, what y'all want to be when y'all grow up? They not saying rappers, they saying streamers. They saying streamers. That's what they're saying. Streamers want to be a streamer, right? Feel me? They didn't say I want to be a woman of the night. Feel me? I want to be a cuck. I want to be a drug dealer. I want to be a corpse. I want to be a mule. They're not saying that. They're not saying that. We gotta. This thing is gonna have to fix itself step by step. It's not gonna fix itself overnight. Niggas done broke this shit 1,000 pieces and expect things to fix themselves by themselves. Nah, that's not how it works. What part are we gonna play to fix this shit? The OGs, the adults, the elders. What part are we gonna play for the streamer generation to whereas we're gonna fix it and make it right so they can even get more rich? They can become more wealthier. They can milk this shit until it's motherfucking dry. Because why not? Right? Why not? Why not make millions of dollars from being on the goddamn computer and chilling with your friends and being goofy and having fun, right? And being grown up and being a fucking kid. What's wrong with that? Why is that a problem? You feel me? Why should that be an issue? When they got our people in a Hunger Game right now. They got motherfuckers in a Hunger Games. They got our people in a Squid Game in the hood and on the internet. Why is that an issue? So once again, shout out to all of them. I will be paying more attention. But like I said, we're going to be doing our version of the damn thing. And when you see me on Stone Mountain on the 28th, that will be the casting call. And I will update y'all as we move towards that date as to exactly what it is that we're going to be looking for. But, you know, come with your best. Come ready to play. Come ready to get right. All right. With that being said, we'll see you tomorrow with Brother Wesley and Techno Tuesdays. With that being said, peace, love, and light to the family. Whoa.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.